There's carnage in London this week. A week-long London tube strike, which was called on by the RMT over working conditions, brings London to its knees.
Tonight, strike action brings a near total shutdown on the tube. Londoners bear the brunt of a bitter row over working hours. And with the walkout going on all week, sympathy from some commuters is already wearing thin.
I tell you what the solution is, driverless trains and sack the damn lot of them.
We find out in this episode how the London strikes affect my job as a London taxi driver. I also discuss in this episode on the best way to deal with customers on days like today. So stay tuned and let me tell you what it's like as a life of a London cabbie. Right, tube strike day, here we come. How you guys all doing? Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to taking you out today. It's been a busy one this week. And as you saw by the intro, we've got a tube strike this week. So I'll take you through it. Right guys, off we go. We're going to make sure we put the apps on this morning because as you can see, the amount of tube lines that are suspended, not working today. So there'll be a lot of people stranded trying to get in. It will literally probably take them today hours to get into work. And here we go, we've got a job already. So Loughton to E15. I'm not going to do that. And the reason I say that, I know it sounds a bit greedy, but I think it's a fixed price, and it's a very low fixed price. So I'm not going to take that one on. Right guys, so off we go on our way into work, and today won't be any normal kind of day because obviously it's tube strike week. We'll probably encounter a hell of a lot of traffic going in. It'll probably take double the amount of time going in, which you'll find it when you're a London cabbie, and apps to pop off because as you can see, all the stations, they're all closed today. So people are going to be really struggling to get into work. It's probably going to take them 2-3 hours to get into work. And so what we're going to do is, guys, we're going to drive into work now. And if we do encounter any traffic, I'll probably just skip the filming until we do get into London. Or if I do pick up any customers, you'll be the first ones to know. Things to look out for today. Of course, traffic. That is going to be unavoidable today. And you're going to have to accept that before you leave your house in the morning, especially on tube strike day. The other thing you're going to have to watch out for is stressed out people on the roads and really bad driving. For instance, I've only been driving for about 10 minutes and I've already had about 2 people cut me up. People kind of act like animals when they're in a bit of a rush, and so just make sure, again, before you leave the house, just go out with a good heart, smile, and be in a positive frame of mind, because if you're not, it can really get on top of you. So in September, for me, which I'll probably do a video of it a bit later on, is probably one of the most busiest months of the year to work as a London cabbie, because the kids are back at school, the football's on, you still have a lot of the people from the Middle East over as well, which is some of our best customers who love black cabs. But with the tube strikes added in today, and it's also forecast to rain later on, it's going to be a boiling pot in London. So I'm looking for it to be a busy day. Unfortunately, I can only work till about 2 or 3 o'clock today. But we're going to really go for it today and this morning. But the main job is at the moment is to get into London as soon as possible. I did get a job offer just a couple minutes ago on the apps, but it was going in the complete different direction. And the further you're going back out away from London, the harder it's going to be to get back into London. So all that time going in, obviously you're going to be hoping for another app job, but you know, I'm kind of looking for a job going into town, the direction I'm going. But I guess that's the good thing you can do with the apps. You can kind of pick and choose, really, to be honest, even though it's not nice for the customer, but you know. But we'll see how we go. I'm going to probably just show you a bit of B-roll now on the actual road, and we'll see how it goes, guys. Now today, in Tube Strike Day, you're going to be dealing with very stressed out customers. They'll be probably very late for work or very late to the appointment they're supposed to be going to, and so forth. Even the other day, this poor girl, thankfully I got her there on time, but she was late for her graduation with her family on board with her. I felt so sorry for her, and but I managed to get there on time, thank God. But you'll be dealing with the customers. Now, the best way to deal with these customers, especially on a day like today when all the elements are against you, is to communicate. And what I mean by that is, as soon as, before they even get in the taxi, when they tell you where they want to go, say to them, just to let you know, as you well know, there's a tube strike today. I'll get you there as fast as possible. And please forgive me if it takes a little while longer. If you say that to them at the beginning, then they've got no argument. They've got into your taxi, but also the number one thing you've done is communicate. Because if they got in your taxi and all of a sudden you're in traffic within the next few minutes, you will, you know, they'll start asking questions. Is there a better route? And if you tell them at the beginning, before you even move, that there's going to be traffic, a lot of traffic this morning or this afternoon, they can't really say anything. So communication, guys, especially in a day like today, is key. Now, surprisingly, literally just been driving for about 15-20 minutes and the traffic's been okay. I don't know what's going on. All the train lines are down. So we'll see like what it's like in town. Hopefully the traffic's a little bit better in town. But yeah, what I'm going to do is probably, guys, I'm probably going to drive around this area, an area called Snaresbrook on Wanstead, and got quite a few main train line stations around here. So I'm going to have a look around here, see if any of the apps pop off. So right, guys, I've been scouting around for jobs around the train stations in the suburban areas, and it's failed to materialize. So what we're going to do is head into work, and we'll see if we can catch one in the areas of like Oldfield Road and Hackney area. So yeah, we'll see how we get on, guys. Well, that, thank God, paid off. We're just heading to E15, which is around the, I think it's around the Forest Gate, Stratford area, and we're going to Buckingham Palace Road. So it's a nice little job in. It's not one you get every day in the job, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now we're at our first job of the day, and it's going from Jansen Road to Buckingham Palace Road. And this lovely lady's on her way to work, unfortunately on tube strike week, but thankfully for her, her boss is actually paying for the journey. Now, at this point, I'm not really too sure where we are. I'm not really too familiar with this area, but all I know is that we have to get on the Whitechapel Road. But what you'll notice with this video, I actually skip out the whole of the Whitechapel Road due to the fact that this journey took over nearly 2 hours to complete, costing £110. Now, as I dropped her off at Victoria Street, because she wanted to be dropped off sooner than Buckingham Palace Road, another lady jumps in. And this lady, lovely Irish lady, her bicycle had a puncture in it. And so she was able to fit her bicycle into the back of a London black cab. And off we go to the Bloomberg building. And thankfully, this journey was a lot more smoother than the first journey of the day. And a really lovely lady was just talking about life and this, that and the other, as you do as a London cabbie with your customers. But yeah, the traffic's not too bad at this point. I'm just going through the heart of Westminster, which is the home of government here. We've got Westminster Abbey we're just going past. And then we'll be coming on to Parliament Square, where you've got the famous Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament. Now at this point, I know that all week Whitehall northbound was going to be very heavy, going towards the north there. So I decided to go along the Victoria Embankment and then get the Queen Victoria Street, where the Bloomberg building is situated. And just on our right hand side, you've got the River Thames, and we're just going underneath the Brunswick Bridge, which is a pedestrianised bridge there. As we're going along the Victoria Embankment still, we're just going underneath Waterloo Bridge, which is the longest bridge across the Thames. And we're just looking for the slip of Queen Victoria Street. But as you can see, the traffic is getting a little bit heavier here. But we're nearly there, guys. And at this point, me and the lady are just discussing how she moved over from Ireland. And she's moved to the area of Hammersmith. And she really likes the area that she's staying in. But we was also discussing on this journey how the lack of bicycle shops to fix punctures, especially in the Victoria area. So yeah, that's I think that's the borough of Westminster where Victoria Street is, and maybe they need to get a few more bicycle shops around there to help the cyclists with their punctures. But you see the dragon we've just gone past there on the left-hand side? That means we're entering into the City of London, the financial district, known as one of the wealthiest square miles on earth. It has the Stock Exchange, the Bank of England, and also Lloyd's Insurance. So we're just coming up to our slip road here. And this week also there was a lot of bicycles out and about, of course. And making use of the cycle highways there. But I've tried to speed this video up as much as possible, as we're very delayed in this journey like the first one. But believe it or not, this journey I was able to film the whole amount of it, and or leave the film of the whole journey on here due to the fact the traffic was a little bit better, as you can see. So we're just going along Queen Victoria Street, just heading towards the Bloomberg building. And it's the Church of Scientology on the left as we go past. And we're just going right into the heart of the City of London now. Lots of traffic. It's always nice when a delivery man is blocking up a whole lane, especially on Tube Strike week. But, you know, where else can they park? Well, guys, what a hell of a, I don't know what time I started this morning, 3 hours that was. I've only done 2 jobs, and the first job, as you saw, I picked up from Stratford, and it was going to Buckingham Palace Road. Now, usually on a normal day, it'd take probably about 45 minutes to get to, from Stratford to Buckingham Palace, especially during rush hour, maybe a little bit longer. But this poor lady, it took us 2 hours to get there, and 2 hours. And I just kept apologising to the lady, just saying, I'm really sorry about this, like, you know, but she was just so polite and so patient. And again, what I said at the beginning of the journey was, obviously it's a train strike today, I'll do my best to get you as quickly as possible. She said, no, yeah, no problem. So that kind of, you know, set up the journey really. And yes, we did come into a lot of traffic. It did take us 2 hours, but at the end of it, she just said, there's nothing you can do, it's not your fault. And you know, everyone's in the same predicament. Then when I dropped off, well, I dropped off just before Buckingham Palace Road. It was actually on Victoria Street. I dropped her because she wanted to get out a bit earlier because of the traffic. I picked up a lady straight away, another lady, a lovely Irish girl, and her bicycle had a big puncture in it, and so she needed a lift to work, and she had a big bike. And for all you cyclists out there, if you do ever get a puncture or anything like that, you can get into a London black cab. She fitted in her bike very easily, and managed to get her to where she was working, which is in the city, the Bloomberg building. What a marvellous building this is. It is pretty spectacular. And I was going to show you what it looks like, but I'm not really at a great angle of it. But inside the building, you've got the Temple of Mithras, which was like a temple that the Romans used to worship their god in. But you can go and see it free of charge, which is inside the Bloomberg building. So I've dropped her off. She was really kind. Gave me I think it was a £5 tip as well. So what we're going to do is, guys, I'm going to try and get some coffee, actually. I'm feeling rather tired after them 2 journeys. I sound like a right lazy git, but yeah, I feel a bit knackered. So we're going to get some coffee, and then we're going to pick up some more customers. But I think going forward on this video today, the first job, I'm going to cut quite a lot of the video out in terms of the journey time, because it's purely, the whole journey is in traffic, and so it won't really be too appealing for you guys to watch. So any long journeys, I'll just cut them short, just from pick up to drop off point. And then any short journeys like I just did from Victoria Street to the Bloomberg building, I'll try and film the whole route if I can. But yeah, let's go and get some coffee, and we will continue this shift. Very well, thank you. Can I have a medium cappuccino, please, with chocolate on top? Bless you. Thank you very much. Cheers. Let's get going again, guys. Okay, guys, so we just got our coffee. It has to be Costa for me. I love my strong coffees. And we're going to head to, I think, Liverpool Street Station. I can imagine there's going to be quite a few people, as it's a very busy station. There'll be probably a lot of people maybe stranded, maybe needing a taxi. So we're going to head over to there. And obviously, if any opportunities arise on the way there, we will be sure to pick them up. And yeah, so we'll get going. So as we're stuck in more traffic, I just thought I'd tell you how it kind of makes me feel as a London taxi driver during strike week. To be honest, it's hard work, and a lot of people, I think someone come up to my cab the other day, he said, oh, you must be having it off with all these train strikes. And I said, to be honest with you, it's actually really stressful. Trust me, when it's taking 2 hours and you're stuck in traffic, it's not moving, it really does heighten your anxiety. And you know, it's not really a great feeling when you can't get to somewhere. You know, our job is to get someone from A to B as quickly as possible, but when it's taking like 2 hours, it can be very stressful. So yeah, and I won't get too political whether I think it's right or whether it's wrong, but there's a lot of people stranded. And you know, there was a lady with her parents that were visiting from China, and the young girl was just graduated, and she was running extremely late for her graduation. And I managed to get her there on time, but it was a big stress for her and her family on one of the most celebratory days of her life. You know, it was hard to see it, really, how stressed out they were, and it should have been like a day of celebration. But they managed to get there on time, thank God. But yeah, but things like that. I mean, there's probably a lot worse things than that's happened as well. Missed appointments, important appointments, and so forth. But yeah, so we're gonna, as I say, we're gonna head towards the Liverpool Street area. It's in front of me and around me. It's pretty much gridlocked. So we're just at the Liverpool Street rank, and the queue trying to get out of Liverpool Street rank is basically all the way back to where you pick up the passengers. So it's going to cost and also take a hell of a lot of time to get out the actual rank with the customer. So yeah, carnage. Okay, so as I see the cab in front of me, he's getting a job. I now know it's my turn, and I get a job from Liverpool Street Station to King's Cross Station. And this gentleman was putting his lovely mum into a safety of a London black cab, and she was visiting her son for the last couple of days in London, and she was off home back to Northern England. Now, of course I wasn't dropping her off back to Northern England, but I was actually dropping her to King's Cross Station. Now, I knew it would be a little bit of a nightmare trying to get out of Liverpool Street. It usually is even on a normal day, let alone tube strike day. But eventually we get out, a bit quicker than I expected actually. And as we go along, I decided I'm going to take the London Wall. Now, London Wall again is a bit hit and miss, but again, the road's not moving too badly whatsoever. But you can see the traffic in the opposite direction is complete gridlock. But we've got a bit of a clear run here, so we're having a good way here. To our right is Moorgate, and more red lights, lots of passengers stranded. And being it tube strike day and also raining today, as you'll see, it was a very, very busy day. And yeah, but off we go, and we're going to be coming to the area known as Rotunda. And as you can see there, it says the Museum of London. Now, the Museum of London used to be there up until about 2 years ago, but it's now closed down because they're actually making a brand new Museum of London close to where the area we're in now, which is the area known as Smithfield. Now, Smithfield Market is transforming into the Museum of London, which is going to be open next year. So I'm really excited about this. It's going to be quite unbelievable. Now, because Smithfield Market is a Grade 1 listed building, the same as Buckingham Palace, Westminster Abbey, St Paul's Cathedral, the whole exterior of the building has to remain the same. So it's a very delicate job that they're having to do. And I think they've been taking about at least 3 or 4 years to complete the Museum of London. But as we get closer, we're just going along the Clerkenwell Road. We're going to take a right turn onto Gray's Inn Road. And again, we're in heavy traffic at this point. Once again, another customer, extremely polite, extremely patient. Each customer basically saying, what can you do? You're just going to try and get through these next few days. But we're just on the Gray's Inn Road now. We're going past the ITV building, which is just to our right hand side. Sometimes you do see a lot of presenters there. But as we get to the top of this road, we really come into even more heavy traffic, because all the traffic's coming from the Islington area, the Caledonian Road area, and it's the King's Cross Junction, and cars coming from everywhere. So you do see for these next few seconds quite a bit of heavy traffic, but the reason is because they're mainly going to places like the Euston Road, which is one of the busiest roads in London, and also they'll be heading towards King's Cross Station, Euston Station, and St Pancras. As we go along here, we're just slowly going along. Once again, I'm apologising to my customer. I think I actually got on quite a lot of customers' nerves that day. Just the amount of times I was apologising. But you know, it's all about customer service. Even though I was probably annoying them. Of course, it's not really great viewing at this point because we've got a nice big white coach in front of us. But yeah, as you can see, the coach is just about to go into the other car. But you know, if it doesn't force itself out, it will never get out. And this is the thing of London. You know, it's quite different driving in London than it is to be driving on the suburbs. Now, not because of the traffic, but because people don't really let you out. And also people don't really say thank you when they let you out. Or you let them out, I should say. So you have to really drive quite assertively. I think that's the correct word here. But as you can see, you've got the Renaissance St Pancras Hotel to the right. And quite interestingly, inside that hotel, if you go into the front door of it and then take a left turn, you'll see the stairways that the Spice Girls performed their first hit #1 single, Wannabe. Now we're just taking a right turn and we're going to park up on the left hand side. Now this is quite a nightmare at times because there's always Ubers, minicabs that are always parked up. Right guys, so just dropped off at King's Cross. I'm going to literally do a U-turn here and then pick up the hundreds of customers that are waiting. Obviously I can only take up to 6. But yeah, just going to go and do that now. Okay, so we get to the front very quickly of the King's Cross rank. And as you can see, there's hundreds of people waiting for a cab, completely stranded. And this lovely gentleman from Yorkshire wants to go to Sackville Street to go to a meeting. And he's a real lovely gentleman, this guy. We have a great conversation along this taxi journey. And once again, I mentioned to the customer, you know, I'll do my best to get him there as soon as possible. But again, he had no worries kind of attitude. And life's too short to worry, he said. And we're just going along the Euston Road now. Just to our right, we've just gone past it now. It's the British Library. It has millions of books in there. And definitely worth a visit. Now, as we go along the Euston Road, this used to be called the New Road. And in fact, this road was actually built for farmers to bring their cattle and their livestock to Smithfield Meat Market. Now, today it has the opposite effect, as you can well see. Now, my aim is here, because it does serve me quite well, is to go down Harley Street to get to New Bond Street. And then that would help me get down to Sackville Street from there. So far, so good. The traffic's moving really well. The bus lane's moving extremely well. It doesn't seem that there's many buses either. Maybe they're all clogged up. Now, just taking a left turn onto Harley Street. Thankfully, the traffic isn't too bad here. Just traffic light sequencing not working for us. So we're just heading southbound now. And during COVID, this particular road, Harley Street, was the one road that taxi drivers would get their jobs from. Literally, there's hundreds of taxis going up and down this road. And because of all the private doctors that were available. So if you became ill during COVID, at least you had if you had the money, of course, private doctors to actually go to. But we're just in a bit of held up traffic here. And as I say, our main aim is to get down to Cavendish Square, onto Vere Street, and then New Bond Street. You see how bad the traffic was there, though. The guy could even get his stuff out of the boot and unpack his car. But a bit of congestion here. But I'm not too worried at this point because the gentleman's very relaxed, very talkative, and he seems pretty happy in the back. As we're also driving down here, he also mentions to me he's going to Vegas next week. So so no wonder he isn't really too fussed. He's in holiday mode, as they say. But just going through here, just directly in front of this John Lewis. Great department store, guys. If you've never been to London before and don't know what John Lewis is, it's a bit like an Amazon inside a store. Amazon.com, bit like that, but in a store. John Lewis is a partnership I used to work for, actually. Great company to work for. So as we go through these lights, to our left and right, you've got the Premier Shopping Street, and that's Oxford Street. And now we go into New Bond Street. We was actually on New Bond Street in a couple of videos back, actually, to see the blue plaque of Lord Nelson, who actually lives just down the end of New Bond Street. Now, at this point, as we went down New Bond Street, he decided to change his mind and get off at Oxford Street as he needed to pick something up. So here we are, we're just dropping off. Job complete. Now, within a matter of seconds, I receive another job. And this lady now wants to go, or a lady and gentleman from Australia, want to go to Euston Station. They're actually travelling all around the British Isles. And so it's pretty easy one, this one. Just decided to go left onto, would you call it Portland Place? Maybe Langham Place. No, this is probably actually, beg your pardon, Regent Street. And then it goes Langham Place, then Portland Place. We're going to go right to the top. And then we're going to go along the Euston Road. Now, as we go past here, to our right, you've got the BBC headquarters there. And so far, so good. The traffic's flowing extremely well at this point. And having good conversations with the customers. Just mentioned to them that I'm a London tour guide and I do great tours around London and outside of London. They seem to have a real found interest in history, so I mentioned that to them. Gave them a few history facts along the way. But once again, the customers seem very comfortable, seem very happy. And so far, so good on this journey. Now, as we get to the top here, it's getting a bit clogged up because sometimes with the light sequencing on Park Crescent, it can be a bit congested. But it's still moving just about. Better than this morning anyway. But once again, on Portland Place, there's so many traffic lights. So if there is a lot of traffic, it can get clogged up quite quickly. Now we're taking a right onto Park Crescent. And you've got these beautiful Park Crescent housing on the right here. On a sunset evening, when you see the sunset and the sun rays shining on those particular buildings, it's a beautiful sight to watch. And just again, as I mentioned with Park Crescent, just heavy traffic here. But as soon as we get onto it, we'll be on the Euston Road. And what we're hoping for is a nice clean bus lane. Thankfully it was. And we're just coming into Euston Station drop off. And we drop on the left and job complete. And once again, I pick up again. And it was a lovely couple from Liverpool I've got on board now. And they're actually going on their holidays. And as it was the gentleman's birthday just a few days before. They wanted to go to Paddington Station. And this is a nice easy one just along the Euston Road. And hitting the bus lane, of course. And having a lovely chat with the two young couple. And yeah, again, really relaxed. Probably because they're going on holiday as well. So that's always a good sign. But as we keep going, the traffic's moving very well. And as we to our right there, the building to our right with the green dome there, that's the Madame Tussauds building. And as we continue to go on, we got on our left hand side is a street, left and right I should say, you've got Baker Street. To our right of Baker Street we have the Sherlock Holmes Museum, and then to the left you've got a few nice places down there also. Lots of places to eat there. Traffic's moving again very quickly, and at this point I'm kind of thinking, I'm guessing the way that the day's going and how busy things are, I'm fully expecting Paddington Station to be very busy. And I wasn't wrong. When we actually entered in, just like King's Cross earlier, there was literally hundreds of people in the queue. So I've dropped off the customers here. They gave me a nice £5 tip, and we continue on. Now I just do a U-turn here and join the rank, and there's no taxis, but plenty of people, as you can see to your left hand side. And it's a job to South Kensington on the Cromwell Road. I won't give you the exact address on Cromwell Road because due to privacy reasons. Now usually I would go through the park. Now what I do is just to check out the traffic, I would look up on the sat nav the traffic and how the traffic's going. You know, even though we've done the knowledge of London and know all the streets of London, I'm certainly not anti-technology, and I use it to my advantage just to check out traffic, because believe it or not, guys, the last thing I want to be in is traffic. And I mentioned in this video that it's extremely draining and tiring and very stressful. Your anxiety levels go up if you're stuck in traffic. So I try my best to avoid it as much as possible. So I decided, instead of going through the park, which the sat-nav said it was completely gridlocked, it actually said a better route was going Kensington Church Street to get to Cromwell Road. And now I had to get the left turn off of Gloucester Road in order to get the entrance on Cromwell Road. But it seemed to be working very, very well. Just going along Kensington Church Street now, and you'll see on the right hand side, we've just gone past is the Churchill pub, the Churchill Arms pub, which was frequent visitors of Winston Churchill's grandparents. And then you've got St Paul's Church. There's a St Christopher Wren Church there to the right. It's the tallest church spire in London. And then as we get through these set of traffic lights, eventually we go left onto Kensington High Street. Again, extremely busy around here with traffic, and the weather is atrocious, as you can see. The park to our left, we're very blessed with the amount of parks in London. The park to our left was Kensington Gardens, which is the entrance to Kensington Palace. And then you had a nice Waitrose van pull out on me there. I forgive him because I used to work for them. And as we get down to the end of the traffic lights, at this point the cars actually, I couldn't actually see whether there was an opening to the left hand side lane, but eventually I took a look and it was open for me to go on the left lane there. So you'll see in a moment. Once I start to see it, I'll get into the left hand side. There's another delivery van blocking the way. And as you take a left turn, we get somewhere close to the entrance of where the customers are staying. And that was my final job of the day. Wow. Come on, mate. Come on. Wow, guys. So what back-to-back jobs that was. And so the job went from King's Cross, this lovely gentleman who was getting married next week, went from King's Cross to Sackville Street, but he changed his mind and wanted to then go to Bond Street Station, which was lucky for us because when we dropped off, we picked up another lovely couple from Australia, and they wanted to be dropped at Euston Station. And as you saw by the footage, the traffic was horrendous on the Euston Road. Then when I dropped them off, there was someone waiting ready to get into the cab again. They wanted to be dropped at Paddington Station, and as we got to Paddington Station, you saw the hundreds of people waiting for a cab. I'm guessing they've come off the Heathrow Express, and obviously there's not many cabs about today because obviously how busy it actually is. I just dropped that customer from Paddington station to their hotel, which was on Cromwell Road, and so I've dropped them off, and that's going to be my last job today. And so yeah, we're going to head off home now and see the family. But I just want to say a big thank you to all the passengers I picked up today and how patient you actually were. It's incredible, really, like the amount of stress with all these strikes going on. It was really pleasing to hear and see. Very understanding, and thank you for that, guys. So if you enjoyed today's video, if you could like and also subscribe to my channel, I'd very much appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time. See you soon. Bye.